चीफ मिनिस्टर देवेंद्र फडणवीस set a goal for Maharashtra's economy.
1 ट्रिलियन कहने वाला पहला स्टेट महाराष्ट्र था और 1 ट्रिलियन पहुंचने वाला भी पहला स्टेट महाराष्ट्र होगा.
This is not a new goal.
Today the growth rate of Maharashtra is 9.4% and we have to take it to around 15.4% to make it a $1 trillion economy by 2025. $1 trillion इकोनॉमी में अभी सबसे पास महाराष्ट्र ही है क्योंकि इन 2023-24 हम लोगों ने $500 billion मार्क को पार कर दिया है. If we don't change even our business, we'll be 1 trillion economy by 2030-2031. But we have decided that we want to make Maharashtra a $1 trillion economy by 2029.
Maharashtra's economy is $500 billion, the biggest contributor of the Indian economy at 13%. The state received the highest FDI inflows among all Indian states. Then comes India's second biggest contributor, Tamil Nadu. The state has the same goal of creating a $1 trillion economy. Tamil Nadu contributes 9% to the India's GDP with an economy of $340 billion. Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka also want to become $1 trillion economies. Who will be the first $1 trillion state is a topic of huge interest on social media, even on YouTube with numerous comparison and prediction videos. But overall economic growth in India has slowed down in recent years compared to early expectations. Besides, all big states are facing multiple challenges, from weak infrastructure and slowing manufacture to rising debt, which directly hampers their growth. Amid this, is a $1 trillion goal achievable for these states? If so, by when? Based on GDP, the top 4 economic states in India are Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh and Karnataka. At top sits Maharashtra with a size of $500 billion. The state has been the engine of Indian market since 1991 economic liberalization. Then comes Tamil Nadu, a $340 billion economy. With just 6% of the country's population and 4% of its geographical area, the state contributes 9.2% to the Indian economy. Uttar Pradesh is the new state with the dream of $1 trillion. It adds $310 billion. The state saw a rapid growth of its economy with heavy investments in infrastructure and industrial clusters. Karnataka comes in 4th, adding $290 billion to the national economy. Driven by a strong tech and startup ecosystem, the state continues to be a leader in innovation and digital growth. Let's start with Maharashtra. In the last decade, Maharashtra doubled its economic size. The growth is powered by 3 main sectors: agriculture at 12%, industry at 33%, and services leading at 55%. This year, the projected growth is 7.3%. The state is now a hub for innovation, home to 25% of the registered startups in the country. It received the highest FDI inflows between October 2019 and September 2024. With mega infrastructure projects, modern transport networks, and smart city initiatives, its growth will continue in the future. To reach $1 trillion by 2030, it must increase its growth to 12.7% per year for the next 5 years. But the state is failing to convert its economic success into long-term growth. Recent political instability resulted in weak economic management.
The political turmoil which has been plaguing the Indian financial hub in the recent times culminated with Uddhav Thackeray resigning as chief minister
And record increase in freebies. Ruling Mahayuti Alliance announced 90,000 crores for direct freebies, 18% of the state's annual budget in 2024 election promises. The opposition said it will double the allocation if it came into power. Money for these schemes come from debt, which is set to grow to 9.3 lakh crores, 2 lakh crores more than the previous year. Besides, government expenditures like salaries, pension and interest payments are consuming a large portion of the budget, while tax revenue is not growing up fast enough to keep up with the rising expenditures. This situation is putting pressure on the government's ability to spend on capital outlay. Capital outlay refers mainly to the infrastructure and development projects, the backbone of long-term economic growth. In 2025, for the first time since COVID, capital outlay allocation in the budget saw a slight dip, a clear sign that the government is struggling to manage the economy. The finance department has formed a 7-member committee to review ongoing schemes and recommend measures to reduce the financial crisis. Many major projects, including the Navi Mumbai airport and metro expansions, are facing delays or cost overruns due to funding gaps. Not just economic challenges, but long-standing issues are also putting pressure on achieving the $1 trillion goal. Out of 36 districts, only 7 account for half of the GDP, a huge inequality in opportunities and development. Moreover, 35 tier 2 cities, each with a population under 1 million, have not achieved any significant industrial growth or economic momentum. This leaves agriculture as the sole source of income for many in the state. Half of the state's employment comes from agriculture sector, though it only contributes 14% to the GDP. Only 20% of the cultivated land is irrigated. Rest depends on rain-fed agriculture. Due to the impacts of climate change, productivity has been low, leaving limited employment opportunities for the youth. Unemployment is a serious issue in the rural parts of the state, a waste of talent that could otherwise contribute to the building of the economy. The government should focus on creating opportunities primarily through agro-processing industries, investment in rural infrastructure, and support for youth entrepreneurship. Overall, manufacturing in the state has been declining due to intense competition from other states. Service sector growth has slowed, and the agriculture sector registered negative growth last year. The dream of $1 trillion economy is achievable, but its timeline depends on political stability, good economic decisions, and the ability to tackle long-standing challenges in the years ahead. Meanwhile, Tamil Nadu, the second largest state by GDP, is now entering its best economic days. In 2016, Tamil Nadu was left in shock after the death of Jayalalitha, who was very popular among low-income families and had ruled the state for 14 years. This quickly led to a power struggle within the party. The party split into two factions, one supporting O. Pannirselvam, who became chief minister after Jayalalitha's death, and other backing K. Palaniswamy, with some supporting Jayalalitha's close friend Sasikala. During this tussle, the economy suffered as the state lacked clear leadership. But in 2021, the opposition party DMK won the election, ending AIDMK's rule. MK Stalin, the new chief minister, started working to fix the economy. He set a goal for Tamil Nadu to reach $1 trillion by 2030. His government built a strategy for industrial growth, investment attraction, export promotion, and skill development. Now Tamil Nadu is beginning to see the results of this strategy. The state has played a leading role in auto industry and is often referred to as the Detroit of Asia. In 2024, Tata Motors JLR announced plans to manufacture premium electric vehicles in the state. Ford is also making a comeback in India by setting up a new manufacturing plant. Tamil Nadu's auto industry region already hosts major players like Hyundai Motors, Yamaha, Renault, Nissan, and several other vehicle manufacturers. It is also considered the EV capital of India, with major players like Ola Electric, Ather Energy, Simple Energy, and Switch Mobility having the factories in the state. The state's revised EV policy was launched in February 2023 to strengthen the industry. Mahindra is expanding its R&D operations in Coimbatore. Vietnam's VinFast is investing $500 million in the first phase of its EV factory in Thoothukudi district. To support the EV industry, the government is setting up a 300-acre park for companies and suppliers. It is also a powerhouse in the textile industry with spinning mills, power looms, hand looms, dyeing units, and garment factories. Tirupur alone exports 3.2 billion garments every year, mainly to the European market. The government's investment agency Guidance helped in bringing Taiwanese footwear companies to set up their factories in the state. In the electronic industry, the state exported 37% of the electronic goods from India. Apple is producing its iPhone in multiple manufacturing units across Tamil Nadu. Samsung has been in the state since 2007. Jabil Inc., a US-based electronics manufacturer, and Salcom, which manufactures chargers and adapters, operate in the state. In Tamil Nadu, unlike Maharashtra, development is regionally distributed across the state. Coimbatore is known as the Manchester of South India and is the textile hub with 25,000 industries. Tirupur is known for its garment exports, Tiruchirappalli for heavy engineering, and Hosur is emerging as a hub for electrical vehicles, with many other cities in Tamil Nadu specializing in different industries. Many towns have multiple industries such as bus bodybuilding, power looms, and even small-scale units like mosquito net and fishing net manufacturing. This has helped bridge the urban-rural divide without relying on just 2 to 3 cities to carry the entire economy. But its economy is not in a strong position to support the growth, so it is focusing on bringing investments. Debt and physical deficits are growing due to welfare schemes and subsidies. The average GDP growth since 2021 stands above 8%, but the required percentage to become $1 trillion is 12 to 13%. Committing to this speed, though not by 2030, it will become $1 trillion economy within the next decade. But how Uttar Pradesh make it to the list? Uttar Pradesh was once categorized as Bimaro state due to lack of development and a weak economy. It suffered years of low growth marked by poor infrastructure, low literacy, high poverty, and limited industrial growth. Corruption and weak law and order were key factors that discouraged investment. But this changed in the last decade. When the BJP came to power, it initiated large-scale infrastructure projects such as the Purvanchal Express Highway and Ganga Express Highway, which gave a significant boost to the economy. Then upgraded airports and metro projects in cities like Lucknow and Noida. The government took law and order seriously and held initiatives like the UP Investment Summit. In the first Investment Summit in 2018, Uttar Pradesh saw the signing of 1,045 MOUs worth 4.28 lakh crores. Of this, 61% of investments became actionable, transforming into real projects that contributed to the state's development and job creation. The state grew in double digits in the last few years and doubled its economy, now standing at $375 billion. This year, during the Uttar Pradesh Day celebrations, Yogi Adityanath announced that the state will now aim to become
2029 की हम लोगों ने टाइमलाइन तय की है कि 2029 तक यूपी $1 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी होगा.
To reach the goal, it's focusing on connecting farmers and markets directly in agriculture sector to increase farmers' income, focusing on food processing units, artificial intelligence, electronic manufacturing, IT, energy, and tourism to generate employment. It allocated 22% of its budget this year to infrastructure development, and it is developing industrial policies while increasing its spending on education. But to become $1 trillion economy, the state needs to triple its current GDP growth. At present, it is on the path of becoming a state with diverse economy like Maharashtra or Tamil Nadu by attracting big companies and developing a skilled workforce. This is where the state faces a tough challenge as it deals with brain drain and struggle to sustain existing investment while trying to attract new ones. Now let's look into Karnataka. Karnataka is one of the most robust state economies, aiming to reach $1 trillion mark by 2030. It is India's leading state in software, electronics and biotech products. It also has a strong industrial base in aerospace, biotechnology, electronics and machine tools. Being the startup hub of the country, it accounts for 37% of the startup funding in the country. It has registered an average GDP growth of 8.4% post-COVID, but its economy is heavily dependent on the service sector. It contributes 2/3 of the economy. The state government released a Vision for 2030 document to diversify the economy and reach the $1 trillion goal. As per the plan, along with agriculture, service and manufacturing, the state will focus on strengthening tourism, healthcare and rural development. It introduced a new industrial policy with multiple incentives to attract companies through the Beyond Bengaluru initiative. Industry clusters such as Belgavi and Mangaluru are under development to diversify the growth. In February this year, the state organized Global Investors Meet 2025, attracting 10.27 lakh crores in investment with the potential of creating 6 lakh jobs. 75% of these projects are planned outside Bengaluru. To reach $1 trillion economy, the annual GDP growths need to be between 15 to 16%, nearly double the current growth. Even for Karnataka, reaching the target would require time and a stable government. All 4 states are on the path of $1 trillion economy, but only time will tell how the future unfolds. Some states may hit an economic ceiling like Japan did, while others may exceed the goal. A stable government, policy interventions and skill development will be key to easing uncertainty along the path.